Nyjah Huston is hands down the best competition skater on the planet. Go ahead and change my mind in the comments down below, but I think he kind of has that title locked down. Nobody has dominated contests like Nyjah Huston has, but that being said, the final contest leading into the Olympics, Nyjah Huston actually lost to Yuto Horigome. It was on like the very last trick, but regardless, he came in second place. So heading into the Olympics, I kind of want to break down this matchup of Nyjah versus Yuto and talk about why it's going to be really hard for Nyjah Huston to actually win gold in Tokyo. First, if you like these videos and you want to see all 6 that I make each week, first subscribe and like the video, but then also you can turn on the notifications. That way you're notified every time I post a video. If you want to follow me on Instagram, you can follow me at The Local Joe. Remember to make every single day a Friday. You can grab a shirt and join the Friday movement. The link is in the description along with everything that I skate. I'm sorry, it's starting to rain, so I had to do a slight angle adjustment. So I want to address probably the biggest obstacle that Nyjah Huston's going to be facing when it comes to winning the Olympics. So obviously Nyjah Huston is extremely dominant and he's super hungry, but the main issue I see is that Yuto Horigome might even be hungrier because he has even more on the line than Nyjah does. As bad as Nyjah wants to win gold in Tokyo, part of me thinks that Yuto Horigome might want it even more. The reason I think this is because the Olympics are being held in Tokyo, which is Yuto Horigome's hometown. So not only would he have a chance to win a gold medal, but he'd be able to do it in front of all of his friends and all of his family, everybody that supported him as he rose in skateboarding, not to mention in front of his whole country, Japan, while doing it in his own country, Japan. And we've seen how consistent Yuto can be. He's probably one of the only skaters that has the consistency and the tricks to be able to compete with Nyjah when Nyjah's having a good day. And over the last few years, we've actually seen Yuto Horigome get the best of Nyjah Huston on a few occasions. And when Nyjah does win, it always seems like Yuto Horigome is right there nipping at his heels, always just waiting for one mistake from Nyjah. That's all he needs, is just one small mistake, and Yuto Horigome has a really good shot at winning the Olympics. So I definitely think that Yuto Horigome is going to be more focused and hungrier than ever, but that's not to say that Nyjah Huston's just going to let Yuto have it just because, you know, nice storyline, being with his family and friends. Nyjah Huston is a ruthless competitor, and it feels weird to say that about skateboarding like it's the NBA or something, but it just seems like Nyjah Huston loves that competitive drive. He loves feeding off of the pressure of the situation, and it seems to make him skate better, which is really strange because I feel like a lot of skateboarders flock to skateboarding because they want to get away from the pressure and it's a way to relax, whereas Nyjah Huston kind of has both sides. He can be competitive when he needs to, and he can enjoy skateboarding and getting clips when he needs to do that as well. Heading into the Olympics, it's obvious that Nyjah Huston is getting super dialed. If you follow him on Instagram, you've probably seen him learning new tricks left and right. I think recently he did switch heel flip front lip back to regular, and then switch heel flip front tail back to regular. And this is a trick that he's only learned like in the last 6 months or so. And it's also a trick that literally nobody else is doing in competition, let alone down, you know, the biggest handrail or the biggest hubba, whatever it is. He just finds the gnarliest obstacle on the course and throws down a gnarly trick that nobody else can do. We've seen Nyjah Huston push the limits or the level of difficulty in contests again and again, just doing tricks that nobody really is capable of doing that consistently, if at all, in a lot of cases. So pushing the difficulty of tricks has definitely paid off for Nyjah Huston in the past, but it's always going to be a huge gamble. Doing a trick that is not completely dialed and slipping up could open the door for Yuto Horigome to come in and take the gold medal away from him. I mean, that's pretty much what we saw happen in Rome in the World Skateboard Championships. Nyjah Huston just had a few slip-ups. He still skated a great contest, but at the end, he couldn't close the door, and Yuto was right there waiting to eat up his mistakes. So I think it's going to be a really interesting matchup, and I want to hear from you guys. Who else do you think has a shot at competing for the gold medal in Tokyo? For me, obviously, Nyjah Huston and Yuto Horigome are the top of the list for who's going to win gold and silver. I'd be really surprised if the two of them aren't finishing 1 and 2. But who do you guys think is going to surprise us? Anyways, it's crazy to be commenting on skateboarding like it's ESPN or something. Literally writing this script, I felt like I was writing some article for SportsCenter or something like that. And part of me really likes that because because I've always been into sports and I like the storylines and, you know, the context, the build up, the drama behind, you know, who can do what and what's going on and the build up game or whatever it is. However, just talking about it like this, it almost feels like skateboarding's being commoditized, and it feels weird to talk about it like it's a sport, because for most of us it's not a sport. I've never been in a skateboard contest, and 99% of skateboarders probably haven't been in a skateboard contest. So talking about it like it's a sport, like it's something that can be given a score, feels really weird. But then at the same time, if you look at other sports that are in the Olympics, like gymnastics or like high diving or synchronized swimming, where there isn't like a way to score goals or whatever it is, there's judges that are calculating a score based off of the maneuvers that they're doing. And so when I see sports like that are super comparable to skateboarding, and at least like the format of competition, it makes sense why skateboarding really does have a place in the Olympics. When I think of it in terms of all the sports that are in the Olympics, and just think to myself, well, why is any sport in the Olympics? What qualifies a sport to be there? And when I compare one sport to the next, I really don't see why skateboarding wouldn't be in the Olympics. It really honestly fits right in. At the same time, part of me feels like skateboarding's maybe changing faster than I want it to, turning into like this ESPN highlight reel or whatever you want to call it. But at the end of the day, the main thing that kind of calms my nerves about it is, like I said before, 99% of us are not contest skaters. We can't relate to that in any way, shape, or form. And so that's an easy way to, you know, package and sell skateboarding to get views and make money. But the thing that's never gonna change about skateboarding is just going out and street skating. You don't see, you know, gymnasts going to downtown LA and just like tumbling on the sidewalk, or swimmers going and swimming in like forbidden waters. Like that side of skateboarding, like the exploring and turning things into skateboard obstacles that were never meant to be skated, that's something that's really unique to skateboarding, and that's something that really can't have a price put on it. At the end of the day, skateboarding is about you and your skateboard. So no matter whether it's the Olympics or the X Games or SLS or whatever it is, nothing can ruin that feeling that you have when you're rolling down the street feeling the ground beneath your wheels. Anyways, at this point I'm pretty much just rambling about my thoughts about skateboarding being in the Olympics, but I do think it's going to be interesting to see how it plays out and how being in the Olympics affects skateboarding. I think it's going to bring a wider audience and more opportunity. I think it's going to be a good thing. Anyway, so if you like these videos and you want to see more, go ahead and subscribe and like the video. If you want to see all 6 that I make every week, Monday through Saturday, make sure to turn on the notifications so you can see all of them. If you want to follow me on Instagram, you can follow me at The Local Joe. Remember to make every single day a Friday. Grab a shirt and join the Friday movement. The link will be down in the description, along with all of the skateboard parts that I use. So if you want to see what I'm riding and get something similar, that's all going to be in the description. So thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed the video. Make every day a Friday. Peace.